Today I'm installing a leveling kit from KRYPTONITE on my 2013 Chevy Silverado 3500 HD. I needed new ball joints, and since the upper ball joints aren't replaceable, I just decided to go with the KRYPTONITE leveling kit and then some KRYPTONITE lower ball joints. The kit comes with two boxes. This is the first box. Got your parts list, instructions, and the control arms and the lift keys. And the second box. It's got the hardware for alignment, my lower ball joints, and shocks. I jacked up the truck and have jack stands under the frame and let the axle come down to uncompress the shocks. So hopefully I have it up high enough that the shocks will come out easier. The shock is held on with a 21 millimeter bolt. And the top of it is also held on with 21 millimeter bolt. I can't get the camera down here and work at the same time, so I will take it off and then continue. Got the old shock off. The nut's welded right to the bracket, so you don't got to worry about trying to get a wrench up there. Shock has a little strap on it to hold it compressed, so I'm just going to cut that off with a little side cutter. The other side's the same, it's just two bolts. There's not enough room for me to get my camera under there, so I'm going to just quick do that one too. Got the driver's side shock removed. You can see this one faces towards the front of the truck, where the other side faces towards the back of the truck. It's about the only difference. Got the driver's side shock installed. That's what it looks like. The inner fender is held on with some screws that have 7mm head and then some little body clips. Start by removing the cable for the ABS sensor. I'm going to remove the brake hose bracket. Then I'm going to remove the caliper bracket, which is held on with two 21mm bolts. I just took a clamp and pressed in the caliper a little bit just to loosen it. And just hang the caliper off the frame somewhere so it's out of the way. The rotor is held on with a T30 torque spit. And the upper ball joint It's held on with an 18 millimeter. Then mark the position, these little cams. So when you put it back together, you can get it close to where it was. Nut that holds it on is 15/16. I'm sure it's metric, but I didn't have anything big enough in metric, so 15/16 works. The top shock mount is held on with two 18 millimeter nuts. The bottom shock mount is held on with a 21 millimeter nut and bolt. Tie rod is also held on with a 21 millimeter nut. Next, remove the axle nut. Which was 1 5/16. The nut that holds the ball joint on, I'm using a 15/16 because I don't have any metric that go high enough. Tried heating it up, tried using pickle fork, tried banging on it, and I just can't get the lower ball joint separated. So I went to Harbor Freight, got a ball joint separator. We'll see if this works. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. The ball joint separator tool that I had bought from Harbor Freight worked, but I had to actually cut some of this out on the sides so it actually fit around it because it was too big for this thing. But it did actually work. There's 3 little tabs on the ball joint. You gotta knock those back in before you can press it out. A ball joint removal tool. It seems kind of small, but I'm gonna try to use what I got. I fought with the lower ball joints for quite a while and I just couldn't get them out. I tried using a little ball joint removal tool and I ended up just bending it. So I removed the lower control arm and took it into a shop and had them press it out for me. Remove the torsion key. It's a 21mm bolt. But there's the new KRYPTONITE lower ball joint. Then I also removed the torsion bar from it. If you remove the lower control arm to get the ball joints out or whatever, you gotta make sure you put the torsion bar back in before you mount it back on the truck. Otherwise, there's no way to get it back in. I learned that the hard way by installing the passenger side control arm without the torsion bar in it and ended up having to do a lot of extra work. You're going to want to put the upper control arm on before you install the shock. I didn't do that, but I had to take it off later in the video. The nuts and bolts that come with the shocks are 19 millimeter. I had put a mark on the old alignment pin cam, and I just counted the notches, and that's how I set it until I can take it in and get an alignment done. Yeah. Yeah, and hi, I'm trying to do something. Yeah, you're in my way. The upper ball joint torque spec is 46 pounds. Lower ball joint also gets torqued to 46 pounds. I messed up when I put my lower control arm on. I didn't put the torsion bar back through, so I ended up having to take off the rear torsion bar cross member. The torsion bar cross member is held on with one bolt on each side. It was a 21 millimeter. But it's down there. Thankfully, it was easy to come off because I got my torsion bar in. So I just gotta throw the cross member back on. The axle nut is supposed to be torqued to 177 foot-pounds. I drove it a couple times and brought it back and adjusted it each time, and it's got it so it was sitting level every time I got back, and took it in, got an alignment done and some new tires on it, and this is what it looks like. After installing the leveling kit, I put on 275 tires, so it's a little bit taller. I went to put on my snowplow and it's too high now. I had to install some extenders onto the mounting brackets. They came with the plow. I don't know if they still come with those. I bought it over 10 years ago, but I'm hoping this will fix the problem. The lowering brackets that came with the plow worked. They lowered it enough, so if you have a Western plow and those brackets, leveling kit and one size bigger tires, you can't use them. Thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe.